Hello, future people, and welcome to my hobby bench. I am in the process of updating it and trying something out. I got some more Hobbyzone.pl bench furniture. The first one I'm opening here is a true two drawer set. I can really talk, can't I? Two drawers there, as you can see. Yep, drawer module. And what this is just it's a plain module. It has two drawers. I'm going to go through, put the magnets in. You're gonna watch me do some pretty weird stuff here as far as putting it together. This is a fairly straightforward set too. It's essentially the four sides to make the box with a divider in the center, and you put the magnets in. It gives you the frame. You put the back on, make the drawers. So let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. All right, now that I'm working four times faster, going through the pieces here, obviously separating them out, there is some cleanup that has to be done. The way they machine them out, or not machine them out, but CNC them, they do leave connecting tabs so that like the bottoms stay together, the sides stay together, etc., etc. So it's easier to grab parts, put it in for packaging to ship, so that they don't screw up an order. Because let's be honest, in my situation, living in America, with the company being in Poland, getting things right the first time when they ship it out the door to go to another country is imperative. I did find a reseller here in the U.S. The shipping is a little expensive, but they are local to the U.S., so it's not, they've already taken care of the VAT and the customs and all that. So there's that. The other thing is they do go through PayPal, so as I've gotten older and learned more about things, I do enjoy going through PayPal more because there's that consumer protection that PayPal does offer, especially dealing with third parties. As you can see here, I'm getting the magnets in place for the top and bottom, and I'm having to use the back end of my X-Acto to get them set into place. The holes do fit that well for the magnets, which is really nice. And I'm using my paper towel module, which will be going away. Turns out it's only designed to fit European paper towel rolls, not American paper towel rolls. I didn't know that was a thing. But it's a great dummy for me to use to get the magnets going in the right direction. As you can see here, I'm only doing glue on the one face. This is MDF, so it is fairly porous. Wood glue does work great with it, and I'm balancing it ever so slightly there, and then boom, just pull it apart, slide it in place. Uh, I've watched this numerous times on woodworking channels where they just use blue tape on some corners, which it works great. The little clamps I have, they'll make an appearance. It turns out I couldn't use them because their jaws just aren't deep enough. But this is good enough to hold it in shape while the glue dries, and doing a bead all the way around the outside edge. I'm not doing one in the middle because the backing does have that white melamine finish on it, so I didn't bother putting that in the middle section because I don't think that would stick that well to the melamine finish. You're going to see me put that paper towel module back a few times because I pull it in and out. I'm sorry, the drawers here. And the drawers are a bit of a fiddly bit because it's all butt joints, really. There's nothing, to interlock it together like the sides and the top and bottoms have. Well, I guess there is a little bit, but not much when you start getting to the sides. Later on in the video, I find a much better way to trim that excess off, but in the meantime, I'm just going through like that, like I'm whittling away and making a huge mess of myself. I bump the camera a little bit, and you'll see the MDF shavings everywhere. I I can't remember. I did these inserts once for the narrow drawers, which you can see there where my red grass pallet is. I pulled the drawer out of there to store the pallet in, but those the drawers have dividers, and actually, if you look in the display case right there, well, not display case, work in progress case, I use some of those drawer inserts to create shelves to hold more work in progress bits. Um, I wound up using one set of the dividers in one of the drawers and leaving the other drawer just a big open drawer. Uh, to me, that's a great part of the versatility where they design it to where it can just be basic, like I'm doing right here on this one, where it's just, it's just a drawer. Sides fell over. Like I said, there's no real interlocking. And getting the front and backs on, yeah, see, I'm trying to spread glue on that super skinny face. And then, of course, blue tape. Yep, yeah, more blue tape. Wipe off some of that squeeze off. I should be wiping off that squeeze out. Why am I not wiping off the squeeze out? Anyways, I do wipe off the squeeze out at some point because, well, there we go. There, I'm doing it. There's the squeeze out. Gone. It is just Gorilla Glue wood glue, so if you have a wet paper towel, it wipes right off, which I highly recommend just because once it starts getting cured, it gets tacky, gets sticky, and then if it fully cures, well, you're just not getting it off. I spent the last week working at home, and so my hair is a disheveled disarray of hair. So apologize for that. But as you can see, this is all going together rather quickly and easily. I do wish there was a little bit better method on the drawers, different interlocking, but it is fairly simple, and they're CNCing this out, so they're trying to do it as simple as possible so that they can do it as quickly as possible and get it out the door. Because the longer it takes, the more it costs. So they're being very conscientious about design and whatnot. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm really fiddling around with it, balancing the drawers. There we go. There's that extra drawer that I pulled out for the wet palette. Remove my iPad. I'm gonna pull some cords out here. Like, oh, boom. Knock the camera around. So what I'm doing is that was open for some storage, and I've opted to put modules there. Yeah, so there's the power cord for my paint mixer and ultrasonic cleaner. Those are going to come out, and I'm going to slide the little 6-drawer module over and then put the 2-drawer module where the 6-drawer module is. There go the cords, and I should be sitting back down here. There we go. Now I'm sliding it over. The stuff does fit together really great. As you can see here, there we go. Yep, slides in. Just the thickness of my mat there was a bit of a problem trying to slide that in place. Part of the reason why I did slide that in like that was to let the shape of the furniture itself hold it in place while the glue cures. So I'll just set the drawers up in there in that open spot to dry a little bit, let the glue set to where they're easier to move around. Of course, wiping off the squeeze out so that I don't have that to clean out later. And those are the drawer dividers. I just went ahead and set those off to the side. The next one we're opening up here, that flashed by really quick, is the tool storage module. And that's replacing the paper towel storage. Now, this one was a little more complicated because there's an angle for some of the parts. They're not just, as you can see there is a slight angle to it, so I had to get those matched up properly. As you can see, I'm actually looking at the directions. But again, going back to here's a completed module, putting the magnets in place, making sure that I do get those orientated correctly so that the poles are going in the right direction so that everything does stick together. See, there I am checking the proper orientation for the angle. And there's that center section. So, yep, there we go. Getting the magnets shoved into place now that I have the correct orientation. I use the dowel for this kit to help push the magnets in place, which I should have done this module last so I had that dowel to use longer, but it's not a huge deal. Again, I'm constantly checking the alignment of the magnets to make sure that they are correct. Now, this is a pretty good little tool storage module they got here. You can't see it now, but there's a bunch of little holes for the steel alligator clip things you use for airbrushing as far as holding the work so you're not spraying your hand. I do have some of those that are a bit longer than that, but again, I also use a glove when I'm airbrushing so I don't have to sit there and clean paint off my hands. Doing a great job of showing on camera, but I'm trimming up those edges from the CNC leftover. And of course, you can see that so wonderfully because there's a panel right in the way, but those are little round outs to hold brushes and other sorts of tools on that side. And here's the front portion, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And then here's the fun part. So the holes for holding brushes and stuff like that, those get sandwiched in between those two modules, the two uprights there. And then the dowel pin, as you can see, runs through those two holes. I'm going off this. I had a portable one. You can see here on the bottom right of the frame, but it's a brush holder, and it's just, vertical storage. You can see some of the dry brushes and my files, and that's what I initially started with, thinking like that'd be fine, but it always got in the way. So this go around, I decided I'm going to put a module that's up and out of the way. As you see, I'm double checking the magnet alignment again because ADHD and I can't remember which way it needs to go. But I decided to go with an actual module that's in place and not on the bench in the way. I've just at some point too, when I get the other bench built, I'm gonna make at least a 1/2 inch to an inch riser for all of this to sit on, so that the drawers aren't level with the surface of the bench. I want to try to get things up off the bench so that if it's on the bench, it can lay there. It's not in the way. And I think that would be just better for trying to get stuff done, especially with the fact that I'm now trying to get into the habit of filming everything I do. So I got to keep things clear, got to keep the bench clear. Here again, wiping off the squeeze out, and adding a little bit of glue to the ends of the dowels. There we go, and now that dowel's in place. And there we go. Yep, grabbing a Q-tip to get in there. My overall impression of the Hobbyzone stuff too is I love it. It is purpose designed and it works great. As you can see, boom, just with the magnets, there we go. It's swapped out. And here we go, doing some more glue squeeze out. Getting a new clean X-Acto blade, so nice sharp edge down there, and that didn't work. So the other thing too is I've got little tools, everywhere. And I'm trying to get everything organized better as far as storage on my bench. So I haven't worked on it completely yet, but it is something I am addressing. The most important thing I think is when you have the ability to have space, is you need to purposefully and deliberately store things so that it doesn't get in the way or get lost. So one of the drawers there in front of my blue paint removal jar is specifically for magnets. I have another one that's specifically for drill bits, and I've got another drawer with tools, which all of that will be migrating into that tool storage. But it's just one of those things that okay, so here I am on the 3-drawer paint module, which I already have one of those in place, and that is above the 2-drawer module. But going back to everything needs to have a place so you can find it easier. And there I was just checking, like which way the drawers go, because of all the Hobbyzone stuff, this module here is the most complicated one that I've put together, and it is fairly brilliant. I did have the HobbyZone version of this with the pull-out drawers, but that was only 2 drawers. Now, that could hold, I believe it was 3 rows of dropper bottles, whereas this can only hold 2 per drawer. Oh, and a whole bunch got... Oh, no. Nope, that's the I'm still putting the magnets in. Never mind. So each drawer holds less, but you have an extra drawer. And I like that a little more than the HobbyZone one, just because you can still read the paint labels because there's only 2 rows. I'm currently have some Citadel paints, which I'm actually in the process of completely replacing my Citadel paints, with the exception of a few, like a gold that I'm using on my Imperial Knight that you can just see in the work in progress case. There's a specific gold that I'm using Citadel on. But everything else, I'm either moving to scale 75 or I have got on the way at the time when I was filming this. I currently have it now, the complete set of Army Painter speed paints, and this is part of me, trying something out. I'm gonna work on the slap shop technique for all of my board game stuff. I'm not gonna move completely into the way of slap shop. I just think that would be a better, more feasible way to do all of my board game minis. That being said, I'm really happy with the quality of the scale set. Oh, see, there I bumped the camera. Now you can see my gut. Uh, again, running. Yeah, see, I put the magnets in the panel on the wrong way, so the magnets were facing the wrong direction. So I had to flip that panel over and clean up the glue. So one thing you didn't see me do is there was 4 metal pins that I had to glue into the front of the side panels. They're kind of in between the holes you see there on the side, but on the inside at the front, and that's a drawer catch. Like I said, this is the most difficult one. You can kind of see them right there. Yep, you can see those 4, well, 2 there and 2 on the other side. So, and I do the same thing. I slide it into place and let the rest of the bench furniture just hold it into place while the glue cures and gets set. So now I'm starting on the drawers, obviously, because, well, if I'm not working on the cabinet, I'm working on the drawers, right? So, and again, double checking how the drawers are set up. As you can see, I could hold 3 rows of Citadel, but only 2 rows of the Vallejo, Scale 75, etc., droppers, which it's not really an issue for me because, like I said, I am in the process of retiring all my Games Workshop stuff. Now, the question is do I stick with the Scale 75, which is great paint, or do I, yeah, see here, I move to a just a straight edge, and I'm chopping it straight down, but then I snap my blade. Oh no. So I have to jump into my Wish.com X-Acto knives that have a different type of cutting blade. And there we go. Now I'm back in business. Do I stick with Scale 75, or do I go with the Army Painter set that has the corresponding colors in normal paint from contrast paint so that I can do paint matching better? I do have, so I have two racks for the Scale 75, and then I have the corner rack for the other dropper bottles, and then I have that one rack there for all the Citadel stuff I currently have. So if I were to convert that all into, Army Painter, I would still in theory be able to fit most of it. Some of those paints I do have are one-offs, like some color shifts. Uh, the grays I used on my Space Wolf Army, which I really don't need those anymore because everything has been coated in those grays. So I don't need those anymore. So I could retire those and put something else in. These drawers are a bit fidgety, and you actually have to pay attention to which way you're doing things. There's a hole, as you can see there on the back right corner of that drawer, and that's where another one of those pins goes through that you screw in after you put the drawer in the module, and that also locks it into the groove on the module. So, I'm, I'm I'm rushing a little bit. I don't know why. I shouldn't be rushing. I should be taking my time, but wiping all the tackiness off my fingers. So yeah, I'm obviously rushing. I'm covered in MDF dust, and I have 2 drawers left. Now, of course, I'm gonna have to stop and wait a bit of time in order for all the glue to dry, get everything put together. And which, foreshadowing, when you rush, you make mistakes. So I do some extra cleanup when I was done. But I mean, again, these are going together fairly easily and simply. There's no issues, no complications. While we're sitting here looking at that, those 4 slots are for dividers to go in different positions to hold varieties of pots. So they can hold the droppers, they can hold the Games Workshop, and they can even hold the Tamiya pots, which are the larger squares. So I've run off to do something. I should probably stop this and break the video. No, I'm already back. Just getting more paper towels to clean up with. Oh, so here I am. I'm working on I'm going to break apart some of the drawer dividers for the 2-drawer module, and I'm testing the size of the Army Painter Tufts. And not to say that I don't like Army Painter. I am a fan of Scale 75. I'm a fan of anything that works good or a company that is good. The color shifts I have from Green Stuff World, I've got like one or two of them, and I ordered those specifically for a project, and I'm not ordering anything else from them. Oh, the Frost Effect. But the way Scale 75 has treated some content creators and members of the community and gotten caught and then try to act like they're innocent, I want to deal with them as little as possible. So, quite frankly, once I get the Frost Effects done, I may just toss it all out just so I don't have it. I don't have to look at their label or deal with their stuff. I've become such a not a fan of Scale 75 because of what they've done, but it's the quality of the paint. The white that I have from their set, I believe you can see it here in the frame. It coats with one coat, two, and it looks brilliant. It's just very well made paint. So, yeah, cleaning up the squeeze outs here, and I'm gonna get everything stacked up and leave it to dry for a bit. And I move things in the desk and on my way that I have to move away, like these clamps. Yep, they're too short to use for anything. Getting everything reset up there. Now I move the camera so you can't see me and you can see what I'm talking about. Just kidding. Let's see here. So everything is dry. So I'm just going to go through here and set up the drawers for the dropper bottles because that's what where I'm gonna store the speed paints is in this module and then the module that's already in place. So I need one divider per drawer. Easy peasy to clean up there. I think was 3 tabs per drawer, and those will quite literally just drop in place. Yeah, see, I'm double checking which slot it needs to go into. And again, the bottom drawer also seems to have a problem in these kits too. And I don't know if it's just how I've put them together or if it's just a little wonky being like right on the bottom. So as you can see here, we're sliding the drawer in, and then, oh yeah, you can see a great view of it right here where I'm screwing in the pin. You'll have to take my word for it. There's a pin that I'm putting in on the side there for the drawer so that it locks the drawer in place, so it'll pull out and then rotate down so you can see the paints. And I can't remember what episode it was on, but Bruce and I fell in love with that Artie Station module that had the pull-out drawers like that. And when I finally found that, or saw that HobbyZone had created the same thing, I ordered it and I threw the Artie Station one away. Like, I did not even hesitate. And I've been so much happier with it. Pulling off the tape, everything does fit so well that the tape actually does get in the way when sewing it all together. Now, the one thing that I will have to do is I will have to find someplace new to mount my iPad. I use that as my quote-unquote TV or monitor for watching stuff while hobbying. So I'm probably going to mount it off to the right behind the camera so, well, it doesn't get caught on camera and I don't get hit with anything for, showing copyrighted material because, that's a thing. And here, I'm putting together one drawer organizer. Like I said, they fit in there really great. Boom. So now I believe that, okay, yep, now I'm moving stuff around. Yep, there's all the pamphlets and stuff that have come with my paints. I am starting to clean up my mess. Oh, nope, not cleaning up the mess. I am moving everything from my portable holder, which, like I said, it sat on the bench and just seemed to get in the way. And I'm putting everything in the holder there. So the thought with that was the mobile one that just sat on the bench had always got in the way, and I'd always move it somewhere where I couldn't grab a brush. So pulling out some of the tools there, putting them on. So now I've just freed up a drawer for something else. But after working like that for a little bit, I've decided that like having the brush is just sitting there to the left like that. It's much easier for me to want to grab and use while I'm doing stuff. So if you're right-handed, you'll probably be the opposite. So and I'm trying to figure out how I want to put brushes in there so I can find stuff. Uh, on the bottom there, you can see some two whacking huge brushes. Those are part of the dry brush set I got that are essentially Artist Opus knockoffs. It was $15 for the set of 5 brushes, which that's even cheaper than the Army Painter set of 3. So I'm really interested to see how those work out. One of the next steps after I get this done is I'm going to get some more paint holders. Uh, I don't know if you can tell, but the one where I have the primers and the scale 75, I've permanently attached those together. And I want to move just the flat shelves over above the brushes, move the Games Work stuff all the way down onto the work in progress case, and then have the scale 75 right next to the corner module above the 2 3 drawer modules, so all my paint is centered. And with me getting that speed brush, or not speed brush, speed paint set from Army Painter, I'm probably going to get rid of my Games Workshop speed paints, just because I'm sure I'll have a good enough color in the Army Painter, or I'll have something that's probably slightly better. And then I can either swap out that module for more 75 mil droppers, or just the weird, odd, and random citadel paints. Now, as you can see here, I'm starting to fill up the drawer, but as you can see, the flocking tabs are still too tall to go too deep. So I may use some of those square drawers to put the flocking in, but haven't decided that yet. You know, that's a thing to come. So, but this is the basic general setup. So, going from left to right, I've got the Citadel paint holder with a tool rack and a 3 drawer module where I have removed a drawer and used that to hold the wet palette. Then I have my corner modules that are just holding random paints. As you can see, so here's what I was talking about. So I pulled that module out and I started scraping on the drawer some, and try to, because I'm fighting with it hard. So I pull it apart to do some cleanup, and this is probably where slowing down and taking some time would have been more beneficial. But I'm not sure what I could have done to make it fit better. I mean, it's squared, everything's in place. So right now I'm going through and I'm checking the corners to make sure there's nothing interfering. So unfortunately, I broke my nice square end blade, so I can't just rub that along the side and bottoms of the module and the drawers. So, but anyway, so as I was saying, left to right, and then so I've got the corner modules, and then like I said, where I have all those miscellaneous, like the primer balls and stuff like that, that'll be that first row scale, or first module scale 75 you see, and everything will shift over one. And the Games Workshop will go above the work in progress case, and then the just flat shelves will be above the tool module, and that'll be see I'm using some CA glue and rapid set to or activator to get everything securely in place to put it back in. So overall, I'm very happy with the Hobbyzone. It's super easy to put together, and it's super easy to put together. It's super versatile, and it's not horribly priced. So I'm going to have to give an update after I get the rest of the modules. At the time of doing this voiceover, I did get the speed paints in. I do have those in place. I didn't show that because I'm just putting paints away. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for this episode. Hit that like and subscribe button and play more games.
Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.